Hi, I'm Stan Malm. I'm a faculty member here at Johns Hopkins University at the Division of Public Safety Leadership. We do some activities here that are typically called staff rides. And so a lot of people hear staff rides, and it's actually a term that goes back to military will use that, where they'll do a staff ride where they'll go back to a battlefield, for example, but they'll go back to a battlefield. They'll take military leaders and go back to a battlefield in terms of recreating the battle from lessons learned militarily. We do something here that I coined the phrase of corporate field trips, because I don't like the staff ride concept only from the idea that staff ride would imply that we're gonna go to a battlefield and recreate the battle. That's not the case at all. What we'll do is, and I'll give you some examples, I do a staff ride in my Holocaust class where we'll go to the Holocaust Museum, and it becomes a very guided inquiry, meaning that our students go there and they're already looking for certain things, and they've already been well briefed on what to look for and what's there. So when they go there, they're almost on an expedition and what to look for in terms of the leadership lessons, what can be learned as a human being, as an individual, but also as a leader. And we do other corporate field trips or staff rides, if you will, where we'll go to the Battle of Gettysburg. Our students will go and they'll study the battle, but not from the standpoint of militarily. They'll look at what were the leadership characteristics of the different leaders and management styles and were those successful? What was good about this leadership style, and how might the battle have changed if it had not been such? And then a new staff ride that we're doing here now is we take our students to the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier, and they visit Arlington Cemetery. And so you say, well, what could you possibly get out of that? Well, what we look at is the leadership of the tomb guards and what it takes to be a tomb guard and what leadership means to them. What does commitment mean to them? Because when we're home in bed and it's 3 feet of snow on the ground, these folks are still walking and guarding the tomb. And so it's quite a level of commitment, and the selection process could even tell us something in our organizations, and we can look back and say, are we really selecting the best people? Because they know what it's all about. They know what leadership's about, and they really know what selection and recruiting people are all about. So these are just a few. We've even gone to a number of different corporations, and I mean from a small ice cream shop to a major automobile manufacturer, and studied what does quality management mean to them? How do they take an issue? How do they change the culture of their organization? One such place we looked at was actually a major automobile manufacturer who didn't always have the best of reputations, and they really reinvented themselves through total quality management. So what are the lessons that we could take from the private sector, and how could we apply them into public sector law enforcement?